Dash Dudley qui est avec nous ce soir. Hello Dash.
How are you guys? How's it going? Looks fun over there.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Champagne.
Some champagne.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Non, mais eux, c'est le milieu de l'après-midi, là. It's 4 p.m. for you, something like that. No.
What's that?
It's like 4 p.m. for you.
Yeah, it's 5 p.m. here.
And you're not drinking?
You're not drinking?
Not drinking?
I was going to drink. I wanted to have a drink with you guys, but I have to drive to the poker game tonight.
Oh,
so
shame on you.
Drive safe. Drink during the driving.
Thank you.
Okay, so Gaël is gonna drive the interview.
Ok. Donc alors, pour ceux qui ne le connaissent pas, donc c'est un joueur vraiment connu en PLO. Donc il vient du Michigan et il a gagné 2 bracelets en une saison, ce qui est assez peu commun. Donc
you understand everything, right? Yeah.
Not yet. I'm working on it.
Yeah, she's saying your table.
So yeah, I was saying you won 2 WSOP bracelets in one season. So it's really not usual. You won the 10K PLO in Las Vegas this summer, which is a very prestigious event. And you won also during the WSOP Europe in Rosvadov in PLO again. So you're playing PLO for a long time. How do you explain your really crazy run this year? Did you feel like you had a click in your game, or is it a good run? Like, how do you explain that?
It's kind of hard to explain. A lot of people have asked me, why this year out of all years. And because it has been a long process, and I've played PLO for, many years, all the way back to probably 2002 was like the first year I played Omaha. So I put in a lot of time. I put in a lot of traveling. I saw a lot of hands. I learned a lot of things going around everywhere, mostly in the United States, like Vegas, LA, Florida, but pretty much always played Omaha in the cash games. And, I started kind of getting into Omaha tournaments a couple of years ago, and then finally had a breakout this year, which, really felt great. And it was awesome. The one in Vegas was totally unexpected. I've been chasing bracelet for, over 10 years now. So to finally bang the first one was awesome. And then we traveled over to Rosvadov, like you said, in search of our second one. And I was pretty hungry and still motivated to win. But yeah, very blessed with fortune that it all came this year.
Mm-hmm. And I've seen that you went to Hawaii after Rosvadov. And it seems it was kind of like a poker championship. And it seemed you were staying in a community house playing poker. So what was that? Like you were training? What was that thing?
Yeah, that was really cool. Some of our buddies host a game once a year in Hawaii. And they rent a mansion. It was actually Kathy Ireland's mansion that she owns. We rent it out for the week, and it's almost like a real world where a bunch of guys fly in from all over the place. We meet up, we party, we drink, we have a good time for like 7 days. We bring our wives, and we play poker for 3 of the days. And they give a championship belt, which is a really cool, heavy-duty belt for the person who wins the most after the 3 days are over. So it's fun. It's a great group of guys. And very beautiful setting in Hawaii. So it's a great trip we do every year.
Did you win the belt?
I did not get the belt. No, they got that trophy, and they were proud of it. Corey, a buddy of ours, won it, and so it was really cool for him to take that down.
Okay, and you have a very unusual career, because usually poker players are like I was studying mathematics at university, and then I started playing poker, blah, blah, blah. So it's always the same story. But your story, it seems like you were doing I don't know if it was professional or not, but you were doing wrestling before? So it's quite interesting.
Yeah, wrestling, it's a sport over here in America, and it's a sport everywhere, but it's real wrestling. And that was pretty much my life before poker. I started wrestling at 5 years old and traveled for tournaments and wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
And wrestling really taught me a lot. There's a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication. making your weight class, certain things. And it took me into Michigan State University. So it definitely helped me along the way and taught me a lot of life lessons.
Mm-hmm. And do you still doing some wrestling today? It's kind of
only when you're drunk, no?
Yeah, mostly when I'm just drunk. I pretty much I gave up wrestling for poker, and I really haven't touched it since. I'm still a big fan, and I still support a lot of teams and stuff like that. But I haven't got on the mat in a long time, like 14 years. So it's just been poker ever since.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have some tips for betting on wrestling, or?
I don't have an inside source for the wrestling. I wish I did. We'd be all getting rich.
Mm-hmm. And you were saying like it brought you to Michigan University, and I heard that the university you were in is one of the like craziest university in the U.S. about parties and stuff like that. I mean, my boyfriend is from Michigan, and he went to Ann Arbor, which is like your rivals. It seems like you really don't like each other. So he told me that your university was just party people, crazy party people. And like you had that village, what is that name?
Campus?
Cedar Village, where they...
Cedar Village, it seems absolutely crazy. So do you have some funny university stories?
Yeah, definitely. I got some great stories. They stem back. Actually, I went to high school only 15 minutes away from Michigan State, real close. And we used to play poker there, too, in high school. Andrew Roble actually went to high school with me, and we played every day after school. And we both went to Michigan State. And even before college, during the big basketball games or big football games down in Cedar Village, they'd have massive parties. We'd sneak down there in high school. Everybody would be partying, drinking. They'd light couches on fire, cars on fire, like riot police would come out. But they had some really crazy parties. Michigan State's been known to have like a top 3 party school in the country every year. So the frat parties they have a ton of frat parties here. And when I was, wrestling here at Michigan State, we'd be very focused during the season, but in the off season, the wrestlers partied very hard. So we'd be definitely regulars at all the parties.
Mm-hmm. And now you're like a grown-up adult.
Now you're a man.
Yeah, now I'm a man.
So to come back to poker, what brought you to choose PLO instead of No Limit? What do you like most in PLO? And do you think there is still a real edge today in PLO in comparison to all them?
Yeah, I mean, like everybody else, No Limit was, or actually I started playing Limit Hold'em was the first game I pretty much learned to play. And that transitioned to No Limit after Moneymaker. And when that boom happened, No Limit was a really big game. And at first, no one knew how to play, so there was a lot of huge edges in No Limit. But when I kind of just found PLO to be a really exciting game. There's always gamble. I tell people you can play with the 8 best Hold'em players in the world, and the game could be stale or tough. But if you have the 8 best PLO players in a game, it's going to be a good game regardless. There's always action. People love to gamble. So I think 4 cards, not just for recreational players, for pros, everyone, it's a much more exciting game. There's a lot more draws, a lot more things going on. You got to focus on 4 cards versus 2. So yeah, I still think there are edges in PLO, and it's a way you can still gamble too. So it really makes it fun.
Do you play 5 card or 6 card also, or only 4 cards?
Yeah, I will play 5 card and 6 card. They don't have a ton of games over here of 5 card, 6 card. I do play 5 card quite a bit. I know I was playing some 6 card in Rosvedov, so I could tell they like it over there. And I heard London, there's a lot of 6 card. I have played a lot of 5, not a ton of 6 card. Most of the games in the States are 4 card, but occasional 5 card games break out.
Do you play some ILO? Because here we have Fabrice Soulier. We won a WSOP bracelet in
ILO.
Dash.
I thought I recognized him down there. Yeah, absolutely. Legend right there.
Thank you, Dash. You're the legend.
No. And I almost remember, I think Fabrice, maybe one of my first WSOPs back in like 2007, seeing him there. And I can't remember what year it was. It was early on, but I know he's been kicking ass forever, so it's a pleasure.
Oh, that's cute.
Where is your home game? I didn't understand where you were playing. Where's your home game, Dash, in the US? In Michigan?
Sorry, for you, I can't give it out.
Oh, no. Please, we'll do. No,
yeah,
but
we play a lot here in Michigan. Yes.
No, but you play in a casino, or you have a home game? Like I'm saying the home casino. I was thinking.
Yeah, Detroit MGM Casino.
Okay.
There's Gun Lake. There's a few casinos in Michigan.
All right.
That we play at.
All right. Okay.
I'm a big basketball fan. So, did you went to Michigan State with some NBA star?
Yes, I went to Michigan State, and actually I went to the basketball game this week. So I'm a big State fan. We have season tickets for football and basketball. And yeah, Draymond Green.
Draymond Green is from your promotion now. He was drafted in 2012. So
yeah, he was a little bit after me. He's a little bit younger than me. I was at Michigan State from like 2004 to 2007, and I think he came in after me. But yeah, the basketball talent is very, very fierce at Michigan State. They do a great job.
Ouais, c'est une des plus grosses teams ouais, c'est une des grosses universités pour le basket. Ouais, j'imagine aussi pour le foot US, ça je sais pas trop. Et what about the PLO online?
Do you
play online?
I used to play online a lot back before Black Friday, and now I've just been mostly in the States, so I don't play the Scoop and I don't play W Coop. There's some other sites I play on a little bit for 4-card and 5-card, but no, I don't play a whole lot online. I prefer live. I like the interaction. I like to hang out with people, so I prefer a live setting more so.
Mm-hmm. And you were talking about, like, I remember this summer when you won your bracelet, it was pretty crazy at the Rio. Everybody, like a lot of people from Michigan came in and had the t-shirt, hoodies, everything from Michigan. It was really crazy, and you were super proud, telling you were from Michigan and that it was a really nice state. So what can you say about like Michigan in general, like how life it is there, and what is also the worst state in the US?
Yeah, Michigan is a great state. It's my home state, and man, I've met a lot of good people here. There's a ton of great poker players. There's a ton of good support here for the poker community. Michigan, you know, a lot of people ask me, like, you guys probably aren't familiar, but I think we have close to 30 some casinos in Michigan. So there is a lot of poker. There's been poker here for years. So that's why I think, you know, I've met a lot of really beautiful people, a lot of really good people through poker. So my rail was really packed at the World Series, and I had a lot of support. So there wasn't a better way to have it than to have everybody there. You know, it was great. I had my mom, my wife flew out.
Your new wife, because you got married this summer, right?
Congratulations.
Actually,
Congratulations.
She was my fiance for the 10K. She was my wife for the other bracelet.
Yeah.
Good.
And you didn't answer like the second part of the question.
What is the worst state in the US?
The worst state, is that Florida or not?
The worst state to be in or for poker?
To be in or what?
Like, no, in general, the worst people.
What?
The worst people in the US.
You don't have to answer that, Dash. You don't have to answer.
Yeah, that's a tough question. I'm going to leave that one alone.
Ils aiment pas ça, les Américains.
Okay.
She can't stop drinking
the
interview. That's why.
I would say Florida.
No, I would like to ask you a question, like if I may ask.
Sure.
As a wrestling fighter, I mean, your mental game was, I mean, it probably helped you a lot as a poker player, no? Because the mental game, as a big sports guy, I mean, competitor, it probably helps a lot, no?
Absolutely, yeah. I think I owe a lot to wrestling. Wrestling created a lot of fortitude, a lot of motivation for my life. They teach you a lot. You know, in wrestling, there's days where you can't eat and you just got to train, and it builds a lot of mental toughness, which strength. I think correlates with poker, like you're saying, you know. So there's been times where, you know, where you're running bad for 6 months at a time, or you know, you know, I've managed to pull through times that most people probably couldn't, thanks to wrestling, because like you said, the competitive background, the ability to not give up, to not quit, has really helped me, you know, to make a poker career for 20 years. You know, you go through a lot of tough times. So, you know, I definitely owe a lot to wrestling, and definitely think that it's helped my mental game when, you know, times get tough, maybe tournaments get short. You know, it's kind of like overtime or fourth, you know, like a third period in wrestling. When it's late in the match, you just got to get off and hunker down. So,
it's only the mental that makes a difference at this time, right? Yeah, that's good. Congratulations, man. Beautiful.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah. And what's your next plans? What's your next goals? Because you want 2 bracelets this year. So do you want to play more live tournaments now? Like, what's your plans?
You know, I'm still gonna probably play a lot of PLO cash. I love PLO cash and I have fun with it. I had to miss the Masters PLO tournaments because I was in Hawaii for that game, or else I might have went there and flown and played that. I know I saw Aussie Million has a bunch of PLO tournaments, and I have never went there, and it's crossing my mind to go this year. But we've been doing so much traveling that, you know, we might stay in the States. I'm not sure yet. Next stop is kind of up in the air, so I'm not sure.
Okay.
Écoute, thanks, Dash.
Yeah, thank you very much for your time. It was really nice to have you here.
See you in Vegas.
Drive
safe. See you in Vegas.
Drive safe.
Yeah, you guys are fun.
You're gonna see Fabrice in Vegas.
Yeah, I'm sorry you'll finish second next year because I have to win this one.
All right, good luck, my friend. Good luck.
and come in Paris to play some PLO.
Yeah, because all the poker clubs reopened in Paris, so there is a lot of poker tournaments now in Paris. So in case you've never been to France, I don't know if you've ever been to France or not.
I have not. No, I would love to come over.
Bring your wife.
Yeah.
Bring your wife.
You have to bring her. Definitely.
Hey, you want to come to Paris?
Yeah.
Okay.
So in case you come to Paris,
we can't hear you.
No, we can't hear you anymore.
We can't hear you anymore.
Okay.
It's okay. Yeah, it's good now.
Okay. Yeah, well, if you got her to say go, we go.
No. You have your hands on your microphone.
You move. You have your finger on the microphone, maybe.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's good.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, she said we're in for France, so you guys are ready for Paris.
Yeah.
Sure. So in case you go to Paris, first you're gonna love the city. It's absolutely beautiful. But then a lot of poker places reopened, so you can play a lot of poker games here.
Yep.
So it could be a nice trip. So you should come.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
Cheers.
So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
It's good to have you.
Bye.
Bye.